Located in the Music City, this building has hosted a lot of great music acts since its inception, but this is what she was made for, NFL football, and that's what we have today in Nashville at Nissan Stadium. This crowd here fired up for football as a moment ago their Titans were introduced. This should be a good one as the Titans get set to match up with the Kansas City Chiefs. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Good running play here to start the drive. That'll net them 14 yards as they pick up the first.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now a first carry for Derrick Henry. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Now Tannehill with a little touch pass to his wideout. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
Now on 3rd down, an extra DB out there for the Chiefs. Now it's Tannehill. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Call it a pickup of 3, and also now likely a punt on their opening drive.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Oh, a big decision here early. Look at this. They're going to go for it on their own side of the field. They snap it to Tannehill. To the sideline, and he's got it. They say the feet are down. Yes, the line judge says they're in. That'll be a 1st down. Both sides were holding their breath there on that 4th down play, and the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the 1st down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep people in front. But somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Tackle made there by Frank Clark. Here's 2nd and 10. Tannehill going to turn and give this to Henry. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. This defense for the Chiefs, they were terrific a week ago in the win over Seattle.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, Make sure you see your guys open before you deliver.
And this is what here? Incomplete, they say. It looked like it was intercepted, but he apparently did not get the 2 feet down in bounds. So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8. Tannehill now to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And on the opening drive of the afternoon, the defense forces a turnover on downs. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. They'll run for the first time with Clyde Edwards-Helaire. They find some open field here. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. And that one heck of a run right there. Once he got loose, you could tell that he was going to run a long way. That was pretty impressive. Extra point by Butker is on target. And it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Tannehill. He rifles one that's intercepted.
I need to get my swag right there.
Picked off at the 18. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and that'll make the score 14-0. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball,
oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Callahan. And the Chiefs are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. The Chiefs in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 46. The drive will begin with a run by Edwards-Helaire. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Not the kind of gain that we'll go absolutely crazy for, but it's the kind of gain that you need to have when you're running back in the NFL. And Clyde Edwards-Helaire, with that low center of gravity and strength, he's going to get those tough, gritty yards for you when necessary.
Yellow.
second down, back to Edwards-Helaire. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 69 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. And what they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
First and 10, it's Edwards-Helaire with it. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. If this defense wants to stay in this ball game, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
Mahomes throw into the hands here of Hardman. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
So here's a first and 10 now down inside the 20. Operating from the red zone now, Mahomes. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
They go back to the ground with Edwards-Helaire. They'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. So now at 3rd and 7, and defensively, it's a dime look, 6 DBs. Here's Mahomes to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, when you've got a tight end who can run, you've got to give him a shot to unlock the defense. Want to see what they can get, taking the big shot downfield. That one winds up incomplete.
So on 4th down, Mahomes off, Harrison Butker on for the Chiefs field goal. This a 33-yard attempt. Butker's kick here is good. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there and a nice one for them. They forced the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
They've had multiple opportunities on offense and still haven't scored any points. Felt like they wanted to loosen things up, throw it downfield, and see if maybe they could get a big play and a quick strike.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
2nd and 8 coming up. Now Tannehill uses the stiff arm. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Henry. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that field like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
2nd and 7. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line.
Well, if they continue to run the football this strong, right up the middle, I don't know if they can wait till halftime to make adjustments. They better find a way to get it done series to series. I don't know if they need to sub some guys out, bring in extra people, maybe change what they're doing on the defensive side of the ball. But right now, they're running the ball very well right at them and right up the middle.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Play action. It's Tannehill. Looking downfield for Jones. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And the Chiefs are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
Hey, it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. But that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week
He's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. It's a big play there for the Chiefs.
I'm pretty sure any quarterback will tell you it's nice to have a tight end that can stretch the field. And how about him right there, working in the heart of the defense, and they connect on a very nice play downfield, a combination of talent and toughness to go into the briar patch.
And that is caught, but the back judge right there to say incomplete.
I like the thought process there. They connected on a big play, and sometimes you find the defense vulnerable. So they went for the bigger shot, went for it all on that one. This time, they were ready for it.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Mahomes going to throw. He'll take a shot for the end zone. This is caught by Hill for a Chiefs touchdown.
They can't stop.
Patrick Mahomes, he can do everything seemingly, and that time he just reared back and let it fly. Butker now to add the extra point. I was just about to say he hadn't missed an extra point all season, but there it is. His first miss, no good. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4's kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Derrick Henry. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. Back to throw, Tannehill. He's got a man. It's Firkser, the tight end. And he will have a Titans 1st down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1.
That's a big conversion there on 3rd down because they did not want to give the ball up here late in the half. They'd love to take the clock all the way down and score. This will definitely help the cause.
On 1st down, it's Tannehill. Looking deep for Julio. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. I think you'd agree that looked like the right call from up here.
No doubt about it. What everyone has to understand is that the officials are going to be right on the play each and every time. You may not like the call, but they're usually spot on.
So now a fresh set of downs. 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Here's Tannehill. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And the Chiefs are going to get it back here just past the 35. Well, we heard all week that they were going to put the football in the air a lot. The problem is that is now 4 interceptions, Charles, that he has thrown in this first half. How do you treat a situation? What do you say to your quarterback right now?
Boy, that's an interesting question because a lot of it depends on the head coach and the people making the decision.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked by Kevin Byard. And the Titans are going to take possession here as they've got it at their own 4-yard line. So they took their shot. It was a pretty good heave, but in the end, the free safety is the one who comes away with the football.
And 2 of the traits that you look for in a good free safety, range and decision-making, both on display right there. And it didn't hurt that he's got a good pair of hands, too.
After the interception, here's Tannehill. In trouble, and the ball's out. It's in the end zone loose. And what else could go wrong at this point? This is going to be a defensive touchdown as they keep piling it on. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. Extra point by Butker is on target, and the lead will swell by 1 more. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them. The coaches from all the way up here, they were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
To throw again on 2nd down, Tannehill. That's complete to his tight end, Firkser. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. He'll let this go for the end zone. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers. as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
2nd and 10. To the air again, Tannehill. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And the Chiefs will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. So time perhaps for one final kneel down before they take this lead to the locker room. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. The white flag coming out as they line up to kneel on it.
Right there, 54, right there, 54 Mike. Watch the run. They're running it.
So we've reached halftime with the visiting Chiefs on top as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks. Yeah, that's something to consider. Are we in for more one-way traffic here in the second half? It has not been a competitive game to this point. Ready for the start of the third quarter. The Chiefs have the lead and set to receive the football. This taken in at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 28-yard line, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone gets him 3 more. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they got the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
Second down, back to Edwards-Helaire. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 83 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Right there, 54, right there, 54 Mike. I don't think you got it, son.
A shotgun snap and a give to Edwards-Helaire. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Let's go, D.
On 2nd down, a run with Edwards-Helaire. And that's going to be a Chiefs first down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Edwards-Helaire as they run out of the gun. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Now a carry for Edwards-Helaire, and he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
On 3rd down, here's Edwards-Helaire. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Henry again on second down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up third down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Third down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. It'll be a gain of 7, but I'd imagine we'll see the punt team here on fourth down. Here's Brett Kern now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And this will be down just on the other side of midfield.
The Chiefs take over first and 10 at their own 46-yard line.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Now third down is looming, a pickup of 2 on first down and just 1 yard there. We have played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Got an extra defensive back out there for the Titans now here for third down.
Right there, 54.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. Escaping the pressure right. Throw right side going to be caught by Hardman. And he nearly got the first himself, but it appears he's going to be about a yard or 2 short. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up fourth. Here's the Chiefs punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the fourth. He's going deep for Brown. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Bryce Callahan. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So they obviously declined that, and it is a touchdown.
They still had the option, but let's face it.
There's no option.
There's no option when you score a touchdown. An easy call for them.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and that will extend this big lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a fourth straight loss. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. So he stopped for no gain. And that'll make it 2nd and 10.
That's a nice job defensively to make sure everyone was accounted for, because ordinarily you pick up the guys downfield and sometimes you forget about the running back. In this case, they did not and dropped him for no gain.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Tannehill. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Frank Clark in there to get him sack number 14 for him on the year.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down. Here's Brett Kern now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And from their own end zone, it's a fake. Oh, but this is going to backfire as it's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, we have seen in NFL history some punters that could also throw the football, but here, that fake punt, total disaster, leads to 6 points the other way.
Yeah, Brandon, a lot of quarterbacks, they used to do double duty as punters as well, and you as an historian of the game remember that. Nowadays, we don't see it at all. And judging by that throw, I don't think he's going to get too many more opportunities to put the ball in the air.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick 6 put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
On 1st down, Tannehill. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
To throw on 2nd and 10, Tannehill. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, you're in the 4th quarter here. You've held the team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job.
Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league.
On is Kern, the punter, to send this one away. Watch out for Hill on the return. 47 yards on the punt that time, just 1 yard on the return. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And right about now, heck, they might be wishing they did not have a bye week coming up next week. It appears they're going to go into that week off in high spirits as they've got this one well in hand. And that's going to be a Chiefs first down as he's able to take this up to the 30-yard line.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Give me that ball, defense. Give me that ball. Give me that ball, defense.
They'll run. It's Edwards-Helaire. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
The tackle made by Jayon Brown.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. 132 yards rushing for him here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Hey, check right. Watch it divide. You gonna see me.
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. Now Tennessee going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game.
Mike 5-5, Mike 55.
And they will take a knee here. Now the Titans will use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. Here's the Chiefs punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. This is taken around the 12. It'll be a 40-yard punt, 8 on the return, and it'll be Titan football. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Again from the 20 after the incompletion. Here's 2nd and 10. To throw is Tannehill. And he's just throwing the ball up for grabs now. Fortunately, that one going to fall incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Now Tannehill. He's going to let it fly. And this will be incomplete. Boy, can you believe this? That one probably should have been picked too. Instead, it's 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Now 3 straight incompletions. They don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th.
4 down.
Desperation time for Tannehill on 4th down. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And now, boy, the ball's going to go over on downs here inside the 10-yard line. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal.
Mike 55, Mike 55.
Mahomes down to a knee, and that should just about write a finish to this one. So this one in the win column for Kansas City. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one, and that helped out their defense. Didn't have